In this video, we're going to dig a little deeper into the animation designer, and I've already made a sample here, and what I want to do is I want to kind of deconstruct it and talk about some best practices as we go along, because the animation designer has such huge possibilities. It's also very easy to make kind of awful animations, so we want to help you to make some really great professional animations. So this example is one of the ideas that we had that we wanted to be able to do and be able to support with animation designer. So what this is just kind of a lower third here, creative, basically made with built-in assets. And so, and even the color palette, I want to kind of talk about all that and just kind of talk about how this is constructed and so forth. So you can see that I have 4 different shapes. These are actually all the rectangle here, just colored different colors. What I did to create that color, you want to watch the Manage Color Palettes tutorial. So you want to watch that, but that's how I got these 2 palettes actually. So let's come back over here to the palettes. I first used the this feature here, which took the colors from the video itself, and then I took one of the specific colors, this one, it's already selected, and I copied and pasted the hex value into the feature here. I had to go over to nothing fancy because currently we have RGB values, as you saw just now, but I was able to come over here and get the hex value by selecting it here and copy and paste and move it in. Hopefully we'll get more consistent here in the near future. But so I was able to get that nice color palette so that everything is nice and designed with the video. So coming back to Animation Designer, back here. So what I also want to point out is what I've done for all of these is there's some nice symmetry here. One of the nice things about being able to enter in the rotation value is I can make sure and have some good symmetry. So you see here I have -15 for this first one. That's rotated -15 degrees or counterclockwise. And the +15 or clockwise rotation for the second one. And then I did just 7 degrees and -7. So I'm able to enter those numerically in there, and rather than trying to kind of eyeball it with the dial. So that's one kind of key aspect to this animation. Now another thing, you'll notice that I have the effects and they're all the same. It's more consistent and professional that way when they're all using the same effect. And so I had to set this from start to end so that the effect would be applied at the end of the animation. And you can see that I also staggered the animations as well so that they come in just a little bit off, creating a nice professional look to it. And so this is a sort of thing that we wanted people to be able to do quickly and easily with Animation Designer. And so really I was able to just kind of create some animation blocks, drop in a box, just make these. And now one of the nice things too about Animation Designer is once you apply the animation, it's going to take effect. Basically that's going to be the default for the next one. So that helps you make the animations very quickly if you stick with consistency. And all I really had to do is change the rotation and kind of where it started. So otherwise it's very consistent. And well, of course I changed the size. Talking about changing the size, let's go back over here and I have this one selected. Now if I make any changes to this, sizing it or whatever, I want to go ahead and apply those changes, because what happens is sort of gets entered into a database, if you will, and it sort of locks it in. So it's very important that you do any changes. You can make a change and it will reflect if you rewind and play, but if you are final, if you like that, you want to lock it in, especially before you create any templates. So that gets us going a little bit further with Animation Designer. In the next video, we'll talk more about how to work with these different features.